So we went into the 21-week scan at maternal fetal medicine at Lancaster General Health. We're gonna find out the gender, and of course it was a boy. And they told us that they didn't get good pictures of a heart. At that scan, they diagnosed my son with double inlet left ventricle. Basically, his two upper chambers are the same size, and one of his left lower chamber is large and his right one is really small, so it really messes up with the flow.
So obviously we chose to save him and do 3 surgeries. The first one would be when he's 32 hours old, and then the second one would be right around when he's 6 months old. And the third surgery is when he's about 3 years old.
They scheduled my inducement, and it was at the Special Delivery Unit in Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, which is the first pediatric delivery unit for kids with defects.
So we ended up having to do an emergency C-section at the last minute because his umbilical cord was around his neck.
And we only got to see him for like probably 3 minutes, and then they took him down to the cardiac intensive care unit, which was just down the hall from the special delivery unit, so that was great. It was tough to see him hooked up to all those monitors and wires and drainage tubes, and he was a champ. He made it through that. He was so strong.
It was scary, bringing him home and knowing that we couldn't really pick him up very well. And he was very delicate, but we got through it, and you know, he just kept growing and growing. So.
We had to take daily weights and oxygen levels in his blood, so that way they could track to see if there were any patterns of, you know, his heart failing. So his O2 level, his oxygen level, was dropping. So we actually had to rush to Children's Hospital of Philadelphia sooner than we had scheduled second open heart procedure, and everything went great. Again, we were in the hospital for like less than a week, I think.
You know, now that he's getting older, I can just envision him as a normal kid, running around, playing, doing what any other kid would want to do. To us, he doesn't feel like he has a heart defect. He just feels like an average kid to us. We know that he's going to have a procedure this summer. They'll have to put in either a stent or a balloon because he has a narrowing in one of his arteries. So they just have to open that up and make it a little bigger so that way the blood flows better.
Without the doctors and nurses and everybody at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, we wouldn't have our baby boy. Like, he wouldn't be here. Without Lancaster General Health, we wouldn't know about his diagnosis beforehand. So we are just so grateful to everybody there at both locations. It wasn't just one person looking at it, it was the whole team of them saying, oh, I think that's a little narrow, we need to keep an eye on that. Like, we knew that they were looking at it in Philadelphia too, not just Lancaster, so everybody's very involved.
Really lucky being where we're at here in Lancaster. I mean, we're really close to Philadelphia. We know that they're right down the road from us.
And the fact that there is an office here in our hometown of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, is amazing. I can't even tell you how many times I've cried with them. They've given me coffee. They've sung to my son because he couldn't breathe. They are just amazing people there.